Okay, this is when everybody's leaving, but I'm still going to take a peek. What's your name?
Darren. I'm Odyssey Camper on YouTube.
Oh, Odyssey Camper. Okay. And are you, what state are you out of?
I'm out of Michigan.
You're in Michigan?
Yeah, I'm about an hour and a half south of here, so not too far to come up here, but been to 47 states and got 3 left to go. I travel in my converted minivan, which is a super mess right now because
that's what I've
been living in it.
Yeah, that's what I have. I have a minivan. I have a Dodge Grand Caravan.
Oh, well, that worked fine. For one person, 2 would be a little tight, I think. But I built the bed into it. There's a refrigerator underneath the refrigerator freezer underneath the bed that slides out. And then 200 amp hours of lithium battery.
My goodness.
An inverter tucked up under there, which I'm running my fan off.
You're me on steroids. You're me on steroids.
200 watts of solar on the top, which is enough for me. And then if you come around the back.
Oh my goodness gracious. So this is
it's my air conditioner.
Oh my God. Tony, come here.
It ducks out through the floor. And the tank on the right is the water tank for the shower.
You got a how do you shower in here?
I hang the shower head up here, and I put the curtain up if there are people around, doesn't really matter.
Right.
And then the drinking water pump is down here. Drinking water tap is just forward of the rear seat.
Oh my, Tony!
So there's a little hose and spigot over here, and I was gonna actually put that on a spigot, but I kind of like that I can pull it out and use them.
Oh my goodness gracious! How did you get the floors flat?
Okay, so if you take a standard sheet of plywood, I use 3/4, but you can probably get away with 1/2 inch. Cut it in half, so you have 48 inches coming this way and about 60 inches across. And then I use furniture levelers at 4 places to set the floor even. And that, so it sits on those levelers, and if I wanted I could re-level, but it's level to the vehicle. On the other side of the bed there's a small level bubble, so I can tell if I'm park level. And then if I'm not, I just roll up on the ramps like everybody else does.
Well, see, in my Dodge Grand Caravan, you got those metal things for the seats.
So yeah, you have them here too, so you have to get up above that.
Okay.
So there's actually a space about 2 inches underneath the floor.
Okay.
So you lose a little bit of space, but I'll tell you, since you're getting dressed on your knees, it's a lot nicer having a flat floor.
Oh my goodness! You have apple cool just like I do. I have the apple cool fridge.
Yeah, I had another one that was a little smaller. This is the one with the higher top. And I sold it to a friend, and I immediately regretted selling it. So
oh yeah. And look at your what kind of system do you have right there?
Well, that's for the cameras. So if you walk around the front of the, I can just turn them on.
Okay, sorry.
I know, it's tight space. It's always a tight space for the minivan.
Tony! You have to see something. Get out here.
Alright, so that's normally facing the driver or the back, but there's a camera on the front of each fender, so I can look down the sides of the vehicle and see, you know, if there's a possum out there or whatnot. And these lights on top are infrared, so you know, without lighting up the whole campground, it gives me night vision to be able to look around the van at night, but without disturbing anybody else. Oh,
you're very tech savvy. You're very...
Yeah, if you looked at my carpentry work, you wouldn't be impressed.
No, I'm just saying, like, tech, you know all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I'm an electrical engineer.
You're an electrical engineer? We need to stay in contact with this Michigan guy, for real, for real, for real. Oh my God. It's a minivan. It's a minivan.
I guess the one thing that doesn't show is there's a fan in the floor, just kind of between the doors halfway across. And I can pull air up into the van at night and vent it out the top. So if I'm parked someplace where I don't want people to know I'm here, I can sucks air out, blows it out these top vents, and keeps the inside of the van.
What made you do something with something like a minivan?
When I retired out of my company I worked for almost 30 years, my wife and I started talking about traveling in an RV, and she's not big on camping. But we went and looked, and we were getting the bigger and bigger RVs, and I said, geez, I'm not buying a $150,000 diesel pusher. And So we kind of scaled it back, and she said, you know what, it's never been my dream to travel the whole country, so why don't you do it in something smaller? So I started going smaller and smaller, and I was sitting in the driveway one night cooking my dinner and having a beer, and I'm like, wait a minute, I have a minivan, I could probably build a bed in that. And so the first one I built was a 2004, and then I did a Nissan MV200 like the one behind you. And,
okay.
And this is
the smaller one.
Yep.
So that's the smaller.
But it's squarer, and also there are no interior panels to deal with in that, so you have a boxy shape. So they both have about the same room. But I had this. This is my company vehicle, and I bought it back from the company, and decided to convert that. And the Odyssey.
He's about to leave. You have to come here.
The Odyssey drives a lot nicer than some of the other rigs. You know, I can cover ground faster, and if it comes down to it, I can park just about anywhere, and get some Z's.
Oh my God! Well, we both have minivans.
Yep.
But I don't have this setup.
Well, get to work.
That's why I said, hi, we're going to be friends now. We're going to be buddies now.
Yeah. Well, it's always a work in progress, and
things
I could do a little bit different about.
I want to show him the air conditioning thingy.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And what was the name of your channel again?
It's Odyssey Camper.
Odyssey Camper.
Odyssey.
Okay. We're going to check this dude out. And where's the place that you still have to go that you want to travel to?
Alaska.
Alaska.
I've got Washington, Oregon, and Alaska left. My daughter's in Washington. So I'll probably make that trip next summer and then head up to Alaska.
So where did you go this year?
Well, too many places to list, but I guess in the beginning of the year, Quartzsite.
Highlight.
Yeah, so down there, Quartzsite.
He's an engineer. He's an electrical engineer. Tony?
I don't think you need to be an electrical engineer to build a van. He just wanted to show you the AC ducted out through the floor.
And then he has the shower thing, and then he has a spigot. He has a spigot for water.
Cool. And then I have a shower hose that
he loaned me some water yesterday.
Sits up there. Yeah, and that comes out of it. The wash tank is separate, so I can reverse the pump if I'm near a lake or a river and reload the water onto the van. So that's kind of nice. The drinking water I keep separate for that reason, because I'm not going to refill that out of the stream.
But look at
get to the fill part.
The creativity.
Yeah, that's great.
Come here, Tone.
Yeah. Appropriate where you live in out of the
Oh no, but I mean, this is just amazing.
Smaller trips?
No, I mean. Yeah.
Well, you might be interested. The side lights up there are actually infrared. And there's two cameras one on each fender.
Check out his cameras in his driver's area. Here, you gotta go that way. Okay, this is pretty cool to see. This is really, 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 really cool to see. This is really, really cool.
It's a three-way, and there's another one in the group.
And he's from Michigan.
Hey, Michigan. Yeah, I'm not too far north of you.
Oh, so you said you have a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
So what made you start a YouTube channel?
Well, that goes back to I have a couple of YouTube channels actually, but they're not related to this. I was the product manager for my company, and they needed someone to do some new marketing stuff, and they asked if I would do it. And I thought, well, if we're going to do this, we should do YouTube, we should do social, and we should redo the website. And so I wanted to learn how to start a YouTube channel. So I just started one, practiced on it, and then started one for the company, and then went back and decided after I left, you know what, I'm going to get this rolling just in case I ever go full-time. I go, a couple months at a time. But in case I ever decide to go full-time, I'll already have this in place. And I have a blog by the same name, Odyssey Camper, if you like to read.
Okay, yeah.
And that's where I do like my long-form articles about places I've been. And I'm on Instagram as well, which is just kind of, when I don't have time to post anything else, I'll throw something up on Instagram.
Right. That's amazing. I love all the just the ideas were just, you could see it was just spewing out.
Well, it's kind of a combination. When I started off, it was just a cot. And I used to try to get the van level because the floor is not level. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, let me level the cot. And let me come up with a way to, do X, Y, and Z. And it just, when I started...
And he has a system in there, babe.
That's it. When I started, that was my power pack that I traveled with. And, got it for...
Birdie's got one of those.
$30 at the pawn shop. And used that for a while. And then I found a lithium battery that'll fit these, which is why I can do this, because I'm not that strong. And replaced it with lithium, and so I used that on my crock pot last night.
He replaced that with he took the battery out of that and put a lithium battery in it.
Yeah, they're pretty easy to find on Amazon.
Oh my God.
But then I use it, like last night up at the potluck dinner, plug my crock pot into it to keep my stuff warm. And that's kind of the only use it gets anymore. Took off the jump cables, because now I've got, the small lithium pack for jumping. But yeah, so it kind of evolved over time is my point, that I didn't just like wake up and say, hey, I'm going to build this van. And incremental.
But I mean, it's just amazing all the ideas that you were able to do.
I do all my cooking with electricity for the most part, although I was playing around with that little fire pit. But I have an induction cook plate and hot water. So in the morning, coffee is hot water, and maybe I'll make oatmeal, or if I make eggs, I get out the induction plate, and it all runs off of the inverter.
Do you ever have to cook inside? Do you ever find yourself cooking inside?
Yeah, and I actually bought this table so I could do that. It's a little foldable table that I generally cook on, and it'll fit in the van, and I can sit in the rear seat. I left this seat in, so I have a place to sit. So yeah, I've cooked a couple times in the rain, but and that's one of the reasons of going to induction. I was watching somebody that was actually cooking inside with flame, like a lot of people cook inside with propane.
Yeah, propane, I do.
Yeah, and that's fine if you're in a cooktop or whatnot, but in a minivan, you're in a tight, flammable space, and you're going to sit there with a can of fuel and a propane flame. Nah, I'm not doing that.
I have a 13-gallon propane tank. Yes. Yeah. And all you do is crack the windows.
Yeah.
You have to have ventilation.
It's not so much the fumes, and I've got a carbon monoxide detector in there just in case anything comes in through the floor vents. But it's more about in the minivan with curtains hanging down and stuff, that everything's flammable.
Yeah. He has a hole in his floorboard for air.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You did? Okay.
Oh, there's a hidden one, and it's under the floor up here, and that blows air into the van.
Okay.
So I can, if I don't need the air conditioner, if it's a reasonably cool night, I just lower the windows a little, turn that on. Unless you get really close to the van, you can't hear anything, and you wouldn't know what you were listening to anyway. Then I can park in a neighborhood.
So it's got a fan in it?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So it's a bilge fan in the floor that sucks air up and through. I just recently put that AC in, and the reason I did it is I was going fishing in Arkansas a couple weeks back, and it could have been 98 degrees or it could have been 70, and it turned out to be really nice. I didn't even need it. But I thought, yeah, there's no way I'm staying out when it's 98 degrees without air conditioning. I like some luxuries as you get in a minivan.
So do you go to the national parks and stuff? And
yeah, and I did some of that on the way back through, because Utah's on the path. Even in the wintertime, I'm usually stopping at Arches, and I was up at Capitol Reef last year, and then all across your desert sites and up through the Dakotas. I usually do that one in the summer. So if I'm coming out west, I'm going to go across and then drop down to Denver, that area, and then come down into the southwest.
That's amazing. Yeah, and you do. So what year is this again?
2013.
2013. I have a 2017.
Okay. Yeah, the Odyssey stayed the same during those model years. They didn't change much. But the caravans, depending on what model you get, the stow and go seats that go into the floor, that's kind of a nice feature.
Yeah, that's what I have, yeah.
Kind of wish I had that. But then if you want to take those out and create storage spaces, now you have a lot of mounting points and things that you have to get over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That all those metal things in the floor.
Yeah, the floor, you missed it. It's essentially a 1/2-inch plywood with kind of a cross brace, a V brace on it. That gives you about 2 inches, and I put furniture adjustment feet. The ones they have a hex top and a slot, so you can tighten them with a screwdriver or whatnot, and they lower down, raise, and then you can get your floor level. Then you can build your bed on the floor. So you go to a flat parking lot, set everything level, and then you always know that if you watch the level bubble on the bed, that it's level. Because I can't stand when you wake up like halfway through the night with a headache and you're like, what's going on? I feel like I'm hanging from my ankles because you're like this. I'm super sensitive to that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you letting me look right before you're leaving. I know this was really fast and on the spot and not expected, but thank you very much.
Yeah, I was kind of in the process of picking up in case it started to rain. So.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Supposed to.
Yeah. This was my first time meeting Darren, so I wish I would have been more prepared. But nonetheless, I hope you guys still enjoyed the interview and will check out his channel. All right, have a good one. Team the Outsider is out.